ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the UKLC as we're kicking it off with week 2. It's finals. I literally had such
day 2.
I had such a brain fart of where we are. All right, so we got finals, but let's talk a little bit about game 2, our semi-final number 2, which was between Diabolus and Eminem, because that was good. Two stumps. I just like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going off. You take it. You take it from here.
I'll take it. So welcome, everyone. So I can't fault you because those last 2 games were very one-sided, and I think what the big thing was, it was one-sided from the beginning. It wasn't really.
I mean, they were both one-sided from the beginning.
Yeah, no, but with Fnatic, yeah, no, like this.
I mean, that game didn't get out at the beginning. That game was 20 minutes long.
Yeah, but the level 1 from Eminem, for me at least, also signifies a lot. Like a lot of thought goes into that, right? You don't just do that out of the ordinary. I do also feel like I like the idea of the Poppy. But if you don't actually lane against the Aurelia, the threat is always going to be there. And the composition and just the draft in general from Diabolus, fairly greedy. And it just, to me, it felt like just ban Aurelia. Like, they could have done so. And there are a lot of other picks that are annoying to deal with, but Chips just looked incredible on that.
I mean, it's Chips' main champ. Like, at the end of the day, Chips is always going to look good on Aurelia. Aurelia is very strong as it is, but, like, it is... When I think of Chips, Aurelia is always the champion for me that comes up for this guy because he's so unbelievably good at this champion. The weakness in Nulti just wasn't there. Nulti was looking really good, so they were just one solid unit. And this is what's scary about M&M is if they don't have a bad game out of Nulti, it doesn't look like they really have a weak point at the moment. For the moment, for me, my only criticism about M&M is their jungle. But coming into this game, I actually think it's fair to say I have the same criticism of Fnatic. I don't think NG is anywhere near as consistent as Dan was coming out of last season. Obviously, he's new to the team and there's a lot of room for growth. But I do feel that the jungle is going to be quite a deciding matchup in this next game, purely because they are probably the most inconsistent parts of these teams. Outside of that, Shikari, really, really good. Only Angel, also good. This is a throwback matchup as well. Like, this is going back in time. Shikari versus Only Angel. So, I mean, it's going to be a really good one, Fnatic versus Eminem.
Especially because both these teams look to be on form. It's not like Eminem won over Diabolus, but it took them a while. Like, from level 1 to control. Great level 1, find a kill, set back PFI, find a kill or force a flash on bot lane, find solo kills. Just everything went right for them. The same can be said for Fnatic. So what I'm looking at is both these 2 teams to have an idea of we want to play this early game oriented draft, and then yes, we have a couple of tools into the mid to late game, but just take control early on. And I gotta say, that's so exciting to me because both these teams play that style, and that clash should be insane to watch.
Well, the last piece about that last game actually was the MVP, and it is Nulti. I think this man deserved it. I straight up think this guy, you know, I had my criticisms. He threw them out the window. There was a solid early game by this jungler, and he continued to use it well versus PFI, who is a jungler we didn't really have too many criticisms from the earlier games this split.
You say a solid jungler. I just watched the man first invade and then keep throwing the axes. Then he went on a killing spree. First he took down the spider lady, and then Kakan tried to 1v1 him, and he just rocked him into the ground. So it was more than solid, Jake. It was just insane. And
the guy looked good. The guy looked good, yeah. So, I mean, that's why I'm excited about this jungle matchup and this next matchup, because I feel like Magic Felix versus Chips is also really exciting because we've got 2 incredible mid laners.
Everything.
We got the flash from the past in the top lane. We got Only Angel versus Shikari. You got Yusa versus Xmaddie. I feel like Xmaddie is one of the best ADCs we got, and Yusa as well, another one of our like really top tier ADs in the UK at the moment. I mean, everywhere is really exciting, but this jungle is like, it's the weak point, so it's the fun point, because either one could buckle under the pressure in this game and collapse the other team.
That's the big question.
It's a statement, not a question.
But that's the thing for me, though, is as you were saying, as you're highlighting very well, every single lane of this upcoming match feels like one where you could say, this is the one we're going to watch. Now, I think that if Only Angel can get his Aatrox again, we know they can have a dominating performance. And of course, I feel like the cannon pick also shows a little bit of his champion pool depth. Now, Shikari, of course, loved the cannon, so maybe that's going to be a point of contention. Mid lane, what can you say about Magic Felix? His Yasuo was, you know,
good.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
it was all right. I think he ended like a 906 or something.
It was
a lot.
It was up there. Now, guys, before we get into picks and bans, we did at the beginning of the show announce that we are doing our live finals in Twickenham at September 1st. So if you want to get involved in that, you want to come see the show, you can head over to lvp.gg/tickets where you can pick up your tickets for the event. I'll be there. Orcs will be there. He won't. I've already made that joke today. So, but
Shucksy doodles.
yeah, it's going to be sick, actually. I'm like really excited.
It's going to be really cool.
Finals at Twickenham is going to be really lit.
I mean, in general, did you say lit?
I did just say lit.
I wasn't going to pay attention, but it really threw me off.
I'm like using too many. I've been using like too many of the same adjectives, so I'm just going to start throwing out new ones every now and then.
That's fine. Yeah, no, it's nice that until my very last day, you keep throwing new words at me. It's good for my little.
Wait, you don't know
brain.
lit?
I don't know lit.
You know lit.
I know
yeah.
lit. That's why I was.
Wait,
that's why I was making a
What is
question.
lit?
It's like, it's cool. It's fire. It's
well, I mean,
it's happening.
the actual definition of lit is the studio lights.
Yeah, I know.
They're currently lit.
I know.
But lit is like,
I know.
It's like, it's on
also
fire,
cool.
dude. It's cool.
Yeah,
it's great.
I know.
You don't... God, that was cringe.
You don't have to
Can we get into picks and bans, please? Like,
do you know what lit means? Maybe you have some cool
Thank
new
you.
words for us, chat.
Wait, there we go.
I want to get deeper into this point because maybe chat has some cool new words that they want to teach us as well.
Yeah, all right. Actually, chat or actually use Twitter because for some reason they don't send me chat. Hashtag UKLC. Otherwise, I don't see it either because of silly algorithms. Let me know what kind of cool words we can teach Chronicle on his last days in the UK. So give me some phrases. You know, we had bear for a while. Do you know what bear is?
I remember bear.
Twitter's down at the moment? Okay, all right.
Never mind.
I need orcs in that control room to start monitoring Twitch chat. Just start saying some words like, you know, bear, lit, words that like Chronicle probably won't know. So
dope.
Dope. Well,
Dope's
you know that
one.
because but you just
Can't
said that.
say it, yeah.
So make sure you just fill us in. Let us know with some words. I want to give him a quick English lesson on his way out. Before you head back.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for my. I lived in London for a year, but didn't pick up a lot of slang, unfortunately. It happens. We get into pick some bans. Chips is a Carly taken away. Yumi's insane.
What was
so not going to see any of that. And yet again,
abdicate. I mean, that wasn't what I was looking for. Sorry, I'm interrupting you. I've got orcs in my ear.
No,
abdicate was a word. I can't remember what that means off the top of my head. What is?
I know bruv. Bruv is a classic.
What was the other one?
Abdicate.
Ace. Do you know Ace?
I know Ace.
I say Ace all the time.
Yeah,
to be
you
fair.
do.
Ace is my word.
Also, somehow we see that Shikari got his hands on. Just in general, Fnatic has gotten their hands on the Aurelia.
I love that you're trying to like really analyze this,
really
and I just get orcs yelling "dench" in my ear.
What's dench?
Dench is what is dench?
I don't know.
What, I know dench, but like it's like wasteman. The wasteman's a good one. Do you know what a wasteman is?
Is that like a garbage man?
No, that's so cute. A wasteman is like a dude who just like wastes their life. You know, so. I'm just getting words in my.
So you guys,
scoliosis.
So scoliosis. Yeah, that's a spinal like disalignment.
Yes, that is it is actually. It is it's a medical condition.
Yeah.
Abdicate.
I feel like
abdicate is a good one.
It's
apparently when the queen steps down, is what I was just told.
Okay.
So now you know when the queen steps down, she abdicates.
But the queen will never step down, right? She's been there for a while.
She's getting on. How old is the queen? She's going to be like 90 odd, right? She's getting 91? To the point, because when someone reaches 100 years old, the queen will write a letter to them. To be like, congratulations, you're 100. She'll have to write a letter to herself soon.
That's crazy.
She's that old.
That is next level.
She doesn't look old, which is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's holding on. All right, let's have a little look at what's happened in Picks and Bans. As Orcs is going into painting, apparently. You know painting?
Painting or painting?
Painting.
Yeah, that's like a really cool thing. I want to get into Picks and Bans. It's actually pretty interesting. I keep getting distracted.
Quickly. Aurelia.
Go.
They
Aurelia.
denied that from Chips.
Yes.
You get NG on the Sage 1. He had an okay game. No, he didn't. He had a bad game in his first game versus XL on it. X-Maddie on the Sivir. You know, he's been studying under Reckless. That's what that is. Only Angel back on his Aatrox. You know, just this dude looks good on it.
Yes.
Shogun picks Lux. Lux is strong.
Lux
Chips
is indeed
just
strong.
had an incredible game on the Olaf, and he locks that in. And now we're looking towards what Yusa is going to be picking up and what Chips is going to be picking up. So M&M, where do they want to put the pressure on? Where do they want to go? They're going to go for the Xayah, and that's going to be in the bot lane. So giving counter pick over to Chips in the mid because Shikari could always be the one playing this Aurelia.
Indeed. So, what do we see here? A lot of power picks going back and forth. I do, once again, question the decision to let the Aurelia make it through pick and ban. Although I understand Fnatic Rising is one of those teams that those flex picks like the Yasuo and like the Nico, they can actually use them to the full extent. If you leave something like that up against Diabolus, you got or Demise, you're not going to feel nearly as scared as yet again. Crossfair Shen support was insane. He was roaming, he was doing so much work.
We didn't actually announce it. That's going to be the Rumble mid lane. Maybe top, actually. Shikari does play. We did see it was Eminem who ran the Rumble mid. So it might go mid. I'm not sure. But I was going to say, we did actually see it in the game 1. NG was the one who got MVP. I don't believe we announced that coming out of that game. But I personally think Frostfair was like turbo robbed there. The dude was so good on this Shen. So
Turbo is a good one.
This is his chance to get that MVP slot back, and Chips gonna lock in the Lissandra in the mid lane to deal with Magic Felix on either the Rumble or the Aurelia.
I really like the Lissandra, and what it allows you to do is shut down something like the Aurelia, right? Because you know that Aurelia is going to go for the big backline threat, and I feel like Eminem, at least more so than we saw from Diabolus last game, it feels like they have kind of a plan in place to deal with Magic Felix's Aurelia. Now, is it still going to be an absolute menace? I do expect so. I think the champion is just insane. It has 100% pick and ban up until this point. Still 100% pick and ban. Had 100% ban rate for a reason. Now, with the combination of a Xayah and a Lissandra, you have a lot of counterplay available to Aurelia diving on top of, say, your carry. Because either Yusa just uses Feather Storm and tries to peel away from there, and then has the backup from the rest of his team as only Angel and Shogun step in, or Chips just throws the Frozen Tomb and ends all of that. Now, only Angel is also back on the Aatrox, and I think that is something that we're going to be looking at. I absolutely love the Rumble pick. We haven't seen it in a while, although we did see it in the mid lane, as you were saying. Has been gaining a little bit more popularity here. Is really strong, the Flame Spitter, and the Equalizer as potent as ever. A lot of really great trading tools. And I want to look at how Only Angel does on the Aatrox yet again, because the last few times he looks absolutely impeccable. Naughty back on the Olaf, insane after last game. I feel like he's going to feel really confident, and that's going to come up big. So a lot of stuff to watch here as we get into hopefully a really exciting match here. I'm still really happy I learned those words though, I'm not going to lie.
I don't actually know what you just said. I'm not going to lie.
Was it too much?
No, the last thing you said so quickly, it went completely over my head.
That's on me.
I'm really happy what?
I'm really happy that I learned some new words.
There we go. Thank you. Sorry.
That's on me.
No, it wasn't actually the accent. It was just how quickly you said it. I was like, what the hell did he just say?
I learned it from listening to you,
also happy that you talked about
I learned it from watching you.
I'm actually, I don't speak so good.
The fast, the quick part of it.
Yeah, I still don't speak so good. That's why I speak fast.
Fair enough.
Yeah, last game you said, this is going to be one hell of a finals. And you were right. You were very right. This is going to be a very exciting finals. Eminem versus Fnatic. I mean, we've now got to the point where, like, the last 3 teams in the in this stage of the tournament are the top 3 teams everyone was predicting coming into the season. So, already hitting those power rankings as predicted. But Diabolus definitely shattering some from their last game.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not from the last game, but from previous games.
Able to dodge a little bit of it as the Comet will get a hit in there. And I think for Diabolus, they're still going to be happy with the performance. Got yet another point. Now, the real pressure here, I think, is on Fnatic, because if Eminem lose it, it's unfortunate, but Eminem have been able to fight their way fairly high up the bracket every single time thus far, meaning that they've racked up a lot of points. Fnatic, by the virtue of starting on the top side as a Shogun dodges the binding nicely there.
That's a good amount of damage onto X-Maddie by Yusa. Shogun being very confident on this pick. Only Angel going for a fight versus Shikari, just trying to get himself the passive up as soon as possible, get that in-built sustain. You got to keep in mind, Aatrox, every time he lands an ability, that Deathbringer stance is going to be able to heal him up, but Shikari's just able to chug the potion and just rip through his health bar with that Flame Spitter.
Definitely, and as you were saying, I feel like the pressure here is because they still have only a single point here, Fnatic, just because they started at the top of the tower. So a lot of pressure on them, and I would not expect them to be happy. Now, Eminem, though.
Oh, this is good. Prospect has to dash away. One more auto could have ended in a lot of danger, but actually, I do believe he hasn't got the Blade Caller yet, so actually, bit safer, but still.
And being a melee champion into Rumble is generally considered not a good time because Rumble will just hover at the edge of his range with the Flame Spit to continuously try to poke you both with his harpoons and Flame Spit. And if you try to engage him in, it just shields and speeds away. And it's really something that in lane is already hard to deal with. Now, I do feel like Only Angel eventually is going to outscale him.
Oh, Magic Felix jumps onto Chibs. The root comes down. That's going to be the claw backwards, and Chibs able to jump away. As Nulty is not going to be able to secure that crab. NG's the one who's going to come up the winner from that fight.
We do see Yusa and Shogun making their way, making sure that this bot side scuttle is not taken away.
NG actually just looking to make the play happen onto Only Angel. Only one melee, flashes forward, he's trying to get into the fight. The stun's going to connect. Shikari jumps underneath the tower, but that's 2 tower shots to his face. Nulty's coming in. Only Angel's finding those sweet spots, and Nulty finds first blood. Going for more here, as NG has to Arctic Assault away. The axe finds its mark. Nulty's coming in, and he gets a double kill. Once again, the jungler for MNM steps up early for MNM.
And the Viking slams down on Fnatic here. And I feel like we're watching a repeat of last game because Naughty somehow yet again finds an early double kill under Olaf. And we see that Fnatic, that is the decisiveness that we come to expect from them, where they go and fully commit to this gank. Shikari flashing underneath, trying to get the final auto attack there on Only Angel. But this was so cleanly played, and it was simply an overextension underneath the turret here, where Shikari can't actually find the final Flame Spitter, and then the comeback from Only Angel with the knockups was just impeccable, and you can't get away from an Olaf once he's hit an axe.
No, especially when you've used your only gap closer to close the wall.
Yes.
Jump over a wall, sorry. So unfortunately for NG, that will mean that he will have his demise spelt for him. But MNM now have got themselves a slight gold lead over Fnatic in that top side, in that jungle, but still have to keep in mind, we're talking about Fnatic here. Magic Felix has himself a massive lead already at 5 minutes over Chibs at 10 CS, separating both of these mid laners, which is solid to start this game out with. X-Maddie also on a champion who just wants a little bit of time, wants some scaling underneath him. He's already used a lot of his mana, and his teleport is off while Yusa just based. Uses teleport to get back into lane and picks himself up the Berserker's Greaves. Got a lot of attack speed to work with, and Prosper maybe looking for something onto Nulty, gets himself the taunt. Now they're turning it around. The Ignite connects. That's going to be the stun down as Chibs trying to find his way in. The claw comes forward, and now Fnatic close the jaws and get themselves a kill.
Magic Felix does go for the final flash down, meaning that in the end, there is a summoner used, and gold now completely evened up as the Chips. I hope he doesn't step further forward here with Prosper, and Angie still MIA.
The stun. They have that taunt flash coming down, and Prosper gets himself his second kill. Fnatic looking clean after that mistake top lane.
And Shen support is not really a pick that you necessarily think of when you have it about really strong supports in the meta at the moment. Well, there's so many. There's the Karma, the Yuumi, the Lux. But Prosper on this Shen, 2 games in a row, has really been the engine of a lot of these plays. Goes for the Lucidity boost as well, just to have the extra cooldown reduction to make sure that he's both very mobile while simultaneously be able to just consistently hit those taunts. And MNM, I think that the early play that might have made him a little bit careless. Chips stepping just a little bit too far forward into a flawless duet. Has the flash available as well. Of 2 people MIA against Fnatic, that's not something you can afford. As Only Angel stuck in underneath this turret. Yes, the Ocean Drake is picked up, but can he make a hero play here?
Does have his ulti, but with the equalizer, with the Glacial Tomb, it is a scary concept, but looks like for now, Fnatic not willing to go for that dive. Genji's going to complete up his base. He's going to get out of there. Jibs gets caught out here by the flawless duet. The root does connect. That's going to be the aftershock, and Prosper flashless this time, so they can't quite go for that big taunt. Magic Felix still going for these trades versus Chibs. Gets the Conqueror off as well.
That's really big if you don't proc the Conqueror there. Trade is not looking nearly as good. Knows that Prosper is backing him up, so he's not too afraid here. And the big thing about that play on top side is that while it looked bad for Fnatic, it was really only Naughty who got a big advantage of that, because Only Angel didn't pick up any of the kills and was not really able to just both use the teleport, and we can see he has a very slight gold lead despite everything. but it's not what you might expect from an Aatrox who has been ganked and was part of an early double kill early on. Now, Naughty on the Olaf here. That return kill did really set him back as he just got taken down by Great Rome from Prosper.
Yeah, where the gold is currently sitting is actually quite an interesting point because Prosper was able to pick up both the kills for Fnatic. So while they have a gold lead, a fair amount of that is sitting on the support. Magic Felix runs in, does get caught out, the ulti and the cleanser used, and Chips tries to jump forward, but NG can jump over the wall. The Glacial Tomb finds its mark, and now they're chasing. Chips throws out the ulti. He's going to be able to run away for the moment. And Magic Felix may be looking to see if he can turn this, but Nulty got a lot of HP to work with. The Ragnarok is down, the Flawless Duet finds its mark, but M&M step away from the engage.
Great cleanse there by Magi Felix, and you know, when the moment that Chips used the Frozen Tomb, he's out of there. Great counter ganger as well by NG, making sure that Chips is forced to flash himself, and that means that with the teleport being used, the advantage for Magi Felix just keeps growing, and every time he gets pressured, he's been able to this far hold it off. Now in the bot lane here though, we talked about Xmati and Prosper, and Prosper's had a really good game so far, but his roams have meant that Xmati is a little bit of a deficit. Now he's a lot, not really, but it is something that Yusa and Shogun can feel good about. As you know, besides that, it's been a fairly slow affair in the bot lane here.
I mean, it is a Sivir.
Yeah.
So
okay waves.
Yeah, I mean, Xayah obviously does have, Xayah Lux as well does have some obviously early aggression, which we saw at the beginning of the lane, but like the kill pressure was a little bit lackluster for a while. So it was always going to be a fairly slow lane. Xmati actually a little bit too slow on that spell shield, so we'll take the E damage and waste that cooldown, not getting any mana refunded to him.
And I'm going to be looking at the next dragon here as M&M has picked up the early Ocean Drake and helped them out a little bit with the Sustainer in the laning phase, but that's also kind of, because we talked about the Rumble in lane a little bit, but of course one of the big appeals of Rumbles is the Equalizer. Every single choke point becomes a death trap here, and that's only exacerbated by the fact that Magi Felix can create choke points themselves, pointed out with the Vanguard. So you always need to be careful as M&M if you're engaged. And traditionally the Rumble was used in part because of his amazing dragon fights. We can just zone entire teams up with his Equalizer. And once Leandris is going to be finished, that's going to be even worse for M&M to face. But even with just the Sword Pan boots, the base damages for Rumble are so high that it really doesn't need a lot of AP. It's more about just being able to get to your health bar the most efficient way possible. And Resistance allowed him to do that was to see NG starting up the Scuttle on top side. I don't think there's any vision here for M&M. And an early Rift Herald, we've seen this be a recurring theme for both these teams actually. And with the teleport, that's going to be secured here by Fnatic.
Yeah, M&M were able to get a solid shove in this bot lane to deny Xmati a bit of CS, but NG now picks up that Rift Herald, and whether Fnatic want to use it is the question for me. I expect to see them want to try and unlock Magic Felix in this mid on this Aurelia, but he could also go for the bot lane and just pull back this deficit we were talking about in that bot lane.
And I'm looking at the first item spikes as well, because if you're looking here, Magic Felix winning against the Triforce is going to be incredibly scary. Same goes for Shikari. Even a Haunting Guise is already nice. Needs to be careful though. Can't get fight back there, but only Angel. He's on his own. There's 3 members coming for him.
Does have himself that World Ender, but doesn't give you the heal anymore. Sorry, the revive anymore unless you get a kill. That's like Fnatic decide not to go for the dive, or the only Angel gets the knock up, is going to cancel out the Rift Herald.
That's so big.
That's really big. And the ward.
Only Angel. And that's a greedy play from NG there. Against an Aatrox that can knock you up with relative impunity. Not checking for a ward there.
Xmati, he's thrown the ulti down. Prosper does have that flash. He's going to hold it for the moment. The taunt doesn't find its mark. Neither do the feathers. Fnatic used 2 ultis and just burned Shogun's Featherstorm.
And the Featherstorm means that there is an opportunity for a play if NG can make his way. Prosper does find a nice taunt now, but only Angel, because we are praising this man for the fact that his Aatrox was just really good in lane.
What's happening to Yusa? He's low HP. The final spark gets spell shielded by Xmati. Yusa's trying to turn the damage, but that's going to be a great Spirit's Refuge to keep Prosper topped up and alive. Binding's going to be dodged away by the taunt. Fnatic able to somehow come out from that fight, but the Yusa also almost got caught. It's just so back and forth in this bot lane.
It It really is, and just in general, this is the game we were hoping for, Jake, because both these teams with very explosive early games, we see them go tit for tat every single time. A Rift Herald gets taken when M&M isn't paying attention, but then only Angel cancels it. And I'm looking at that Dragon. Are we going to see the contest there from Fnatic? Because I do feel like they are playing it fairly slow. Now with the Oblivion all picked up on Rumble, I would not mind if they go for a heavy contest on the next objective, as opposed to giving 2 Ocean Drakes over. You have the Triforce on Magifelix, you have the Cinderhook on NG. There's actually a lot of power in your composition.
Oh, the binding gets dodged away, so does the spell shield. Manny has to flash. Reads to get this last wave when he knew that Prospero was gone. Will cost him a summoner spell.
Nice little trap being set up there by M&M, just waiting it out. I do feel like with those back timers though, if they don't want to blow useless teleport, they might have just completely opened up the opportunity if Fnatic want to go for a really quick Baron. It looks like that is what they're going to do. And this is just...
Drake?
Sorry?
You mean Drake?
Oh, Drake.
I was like, 30-minute Baron.
That would be very
that'd be pretty
I'm talking
impressive.
about the Ocean Drake, of course. Thank you, Jake. As we do see now the contest coming through.
Yeah, a couple of members from
Maybe too
M&M
late.
are making their way down, but the Drake has already been picked up. Chips gets caught out by the ulti. That's going to be the Vanguard's Edge connecting onto him, but a good ulti onto Magifelix. He has to cleanse instantly. Only Angel launches into the fray. A 2-man taunt comes out. The final spark only finds 2. Magifelix is low. A double kill's been picked up by X-Manny. Nolty is still alive as he gets caught out. X-Manny now looking to chase up with the rest of the team. The Equalizer is seconds away from being up, but the Blast Cone will secure M&M a safe passage away for their bot lane. Fnatic Rising coming up big, and come on, man, what's that? What is that?
X-Matty. I mean, this is kind of cool because it also shows that he's not in the least impressed by his opponent, which, honestly, if you're playing this clean on Civ, is a fairly good attitude to have. And unfortunately for M&M there, like I was saying, it's nice that you force it, but because they wait so long, their back timers don't sync up with the Ocean Drake. Not only Angel, he uses teleport, they expend a lot of resources trying to still contest this, but in the end, it doesn't actually lead to anything. They don't pick up the Ocean Drake, so that's even up now. They lose the subsequent team fight, and the fact that they try and contest the moment that the Dragon is still taken, Chips just doesn't have the time to really react there, but they should have known that it was just a little bit too late. Now the teleport comes through, which is nice, but only Angel and Naughty are just in the middle of 4 people there to kind of get collapsed on. And Chips also has to use everything defensively, gets blown up, and by the time Shikari is there, honestly, it's not even really needed anymore because by this time the fight was over. That's really the saving grace. But the moment I say that, M&M just bounce back and find themselves first turret bot, which at least in terms of gold, keeps them very relevant in this game.
Oh, 15 minutes on the clock. Like you said, that first turret blood keeping them relevant in gold is only down 1,000 gold as NG now stealing away these chickens from Nolty, and he's looking to also take this red buff. This might just be a full topside clear denying Nolty. The rest of the team are collapsing in. That pink ward will spot Nolty out as the red buff will fall. Prospero gets spotted out. The binding is not going to find his mark here, but Magifelix on the flank, and Fnatic is going to step away from the jungle.
Good call, because X-Matty is nowhere near there, and now with the Essence Reaver finished, Civ already capable of dealing out a lot of damage here early, as we see Naughty going for a very team-oriented build here. He did not get nearly as fed on this in this game as his last game. NG actually 2 levels up, and it's also due to Fnatic's very proactive approach in taking over the jungle as they did just now. And we see that Shikari is opposed to going for something like Leandris first, which synergizes, of course, really well with your Equalizer and your Harpoon. He's gone for the Morellos, which, considering you're laning against Aatrox, anything that you can do to cut that sustain is going to be good. Also gives him a lot of CDR for his Equalizers, which we actually haven't seen in a team fight situation yet. So I'm going to be looking for that one, because actually placing those in a good position is a skill in of itself.
Yeah. I mean, Equalizers can make or break a team fight,
Exactly.
really. If you have a bad Equalizer, it's just a waste. Chibs in this bot lane now. Wants to hang around for the moment. Does need to be a little careful because NG is looking for the collapse. That's going to be the Glacial Prison to fin him in place. Instant takedown. Fnatic just smashed Chibs in the bot lane.
I was looking at that. I was going, Chibs, he's a Lissandra. That's a risky target to dive. You got to be careful with that. You got Frozen Tomb. But there's simply no counterplay because NG goes for the nice combo. Arctic Assault into the ultimate, so there's very little reaction time. And they just get hunted to 0. There's Naughty Let's go for, I thought what Prosfo says. See ya. Just taunts away.
He does a 3-0 Shen.
Yeah. He's not going down.
The Spirit's Refuge just denies everything he wants to do. Only Angel actually getting a really good fight versus Shikari on the tail end there. You do just catch that. Xmadi. She used the spell shield to block out the E from the Lux. And these are very aggressive fights across the map, but both of these teams kind of knowing their limits and not losing too much from it. So while there's been a lot of action, the kind of kill score doesn't really reflect how much action there has been in this game.
Definitely not, because you might come in here now and look at, okay, 9 kills. As we take a look at the gold differentials here, and you can see across the board how it's fairly close. I feel like Magic Felix is the only one that really has an edge. Although Prosper with his 3 kills also understandably fairly far ahead of Shogun. But it's not anywhere near unmanageable, right? We saw the last 2 games, the leads were explosive, the leads were so big, and this is a game of inches, and thus
NG
far,
has ult.
yeah.
NG has ult. Yusa foresees that Feather Storm early, tries to get the Blade Cooler, but it's not time. Prospect flash taunts forward, and that'll be the end of Yusa as Xmadi picks up the kill.
And NG has been absolutely impeccable here. Yusa just stepping a little bit too far forward. And I said, Jake, it's a game of inches. Yusa just a smidge too far forward here, not having the vision. And what we've seen from Fnatic thus far is that they are so decisive. And this is a decisiveness that is really costing M&M here, because if you just move a little bit too forward, they won't hesitate. Crossfire just immediately flash taunts on top of you. NG just goes for the turret dive on Alessandra. They are so confident here. And as M&M, it just showcases any single little weaknesses that you might have. And for me, the question is, M&M are still in a position with the composition that they have where Yusa, if you can get him fed, yes, it's going to be a rough matchup, because I do feel like the composition doesn't scale as well as the one that Fnatic does, because with the Sivir, with the Shen...
Shikari's getting dove here, has got the Shen out on top of him to deliver Prosper in. The taunt's not going to happen because the Ragnarok is burning away. Nolty now trapped in a bad spot, but he tries to get himself a kill onto Prosper. M&M try off to pull the tower dive off, but it doesn't work.
As I was saying, it's just... It feels like M&M, they need to adapt mid-match here. They need to stop making these little mistakes, these inches too far forward, these little expeditions into pockets of vision where they don't know where everyone from Fnatic is, because Fnatic are so good at punishing that lack of knowledge if you step so far as an inch forward. And M&M Team Comp has a lot of capabilities if you can play around Yusa and only Angel. If you can find a big knock-up into the CC that you provide with Chips and Shogun, and Yusa just getting to multiple items we know that this man can carry, there is a possibility. But I gotta say, Fnatic now, at 20 minutes, a 3k gold lead. This is a team that skills so well. Sejuani's insane in the late game, so is Sivir, so is Aurelia until you talk 35 minutes plus when everyone gets too tanky, but that's still so far away. Ideally, the only one who doesn't skill as well is Shikari, but Equalizer is such a strong ultimate that even he is going to be more than fine here.
I'm actually really happy to see NG really step up in this game. He's been very active on the map. He's denied a lot. He's been really solid on engages. And to be fair, even Nolty hasn't had a bad game. He got that double kill early, and yeah, he's dropped 2 kills since, but before this game started, I was talking about how the jungle was potentially the weak point for both of these teams, and they've both proven me wrong in this game. It's been what they have been able to do has what set these teams up for success. You see Nolty, when he got that double kill top lane, set in the Angel up into a position where actually he's still fairly comfortable versus the likes of Shikari. NG's been very proactive to enable Magic Felix, so these supposed weak spots, I say with quotations, have not been weak spots for these teams in this game.
Definitely not, and M&M just looking really strong here, but Fnatic just...
That's the ulti onto Chips, not going to find his mark, but the Vanguard's edge is there. The claw comes out, Ragnarok used early by Nolty. Fnatic look for the play, look for the kills, not able to find them.
And it's the big difference of an Olaf that completely snowballs the game and Olaf that doesn't, because if Naughty's as fat and as far ahead as it was last game, he just runs in there and runs them down the moment that a big ultimate like that is used. But instead, he's not able to really capitalize on the fact that NG doesn't hit the ultimate there.
Naughty has no Ragnarok. The stuns are not going to find their mark from Magic Felix, but the Permafrost comes down. The Redemption will heal him up. Make sure he doesn't go too low. Naughty's able to make his way out.
Once the Sterix gauge is finished on Magic Felix, I feel like that's when Fnatic can start pressing the issue even more. They're also approaching the Zhonya's Hourglass on Shikari, meaning they can go even deeper with his Flame Spitter.
That's the hysterics.
Yeah, and that always feels so bad because, you know, in the case of something like the Aurelia, it's going to make her feel so unfair because she's so tanky while simultaneously dishing out so much damage, dashing left and right through the fight. And this Lissandra pick thus far hasn't really worked out. They've not been able to either make the really proactive plays that you can do with a Lissandra, set up dives, and go for certain kills on weak members.
He's going for it. He has that Vanguard's Edge in a second, dodges away on the slow, gets himself the flawless duet. The blade surges up, and the claw not going to be taken, but Magic Felix delivers himself backwards with the minion. The Vanguard's Edge is there. The ult on top of himself. The double teleports are coming in. The team fight is breaking out. The claw gets followed up with the permafrost to follow down. They get themselves a massive rumble on everyone, but Magic Felix jumps in and out of the fight. He's alive. The redemption. He's healed. And oh my lord!
Did he live?
Fnatic fight too. What a team fight!
And if only Angel can find the kill on Magic Felix there, if they can just take him down, he gets the reset on the wall, and he might find someone else. But instead, it's so cleanly executed. Magic Felix showing exactly why this Aurelia is feared.
Triumph came up so big there for Magic Felix, and now with the On the Hunt pops, he's hunting for blood. A great ult by NG as they jump onto Shogun. He's low HP, but the shields are huge. Shikari's looking to coast and toast. Nulty down, but he's not able to get it, and Baron is back on the menu for Fnatic Rising. Nulty's low,
Ooh,
and Magic Felix is hunting. Not going to steal the Baron as he gets picked up by Fnatic. 24 minutes on the clock, and they are looking nice and solid here.
And let's take another look here because Magic Felix, we talk so much about this man, and this is one of the reasons why this Aurelia has been banned so often. But when we get to see it play, it is just such a beauty to behold because Chips goes for an exceptionally long holdout here, which is nice. But then the fact that permafrost still connects there is a death sentence for him. And look at Magic Felix there. Finds one, finds two, gets the shield from Starix. That's what we were talking about earlier, and just completely denies only Angel any chance of popping off. And I like the commitment from Eminem there, because it felt like that is a situation against a lesser team. You go into that fight, and if Magic Felix, if the Aurelia dies there, all of a sudden there's opportunity. The low, the equalizer is used, you have a huge Aatrox on top of them, but instead, Fnatic plays that so cleanly, and now they're up 7k gold at 25 minutes. They have the Baron buff. They're going to take a free dragon as well, and it looks like they might have actually cracked Eminem here. They're going to try their best, but I need to see some absolute miracle plays here from the Flaming Marshmallows if they really want to get back into this game. And it's got to start with shutting down Magic Felix, and then you've still got Xmani to worry about.
That's the equalizer. Yusa just gets cooked.
That's it, yeah.
Roast Pigeon, mate, he is down. NG now is going to get the Infernal Chains broken as he jumps out. Fnatic continue to push into this turret.
Wouldn't it be pheasant?
I feel they're like more peacocks.
Yeah, that's fair enough, actually.
They're very pretty birds. Actually, really cool fact, Orcs was telling me, Shikari loves birds. Like, really likes, he's like super into birds.
That's cool, man. I respect that.
Birds are cool, man.
Yeah.
I like budgies, little budgies.
I don't know that, so this is a really, like, I'm not even joking, like, I don't have the vocabulary for birds in English, because why would I? Because it's such a...
You don't know the names of birds?
No, it's the same with plants. I just don't know in Dutch, because...
I don't know any plant names, really.
Yeah, no, I mean, me too.
Like, what's a good bird?
I know fern.
Try and describe a bird to me, and I'll guess what it is.
I know pigeon. I know crow.
No, okay. But, like, I'm a big fan of toucans. You know what toucans are?
I know a toucan, yeah.
Yeah, the ones with the big beaks.
It's the same, yeah. Yeah, I know toucan.
I'm a big fan of them.
Toucans are cool. They're very, very colourful.
Yeah.
Like the tropical parrots, you know, with all the...
Yeah.
I mean, look at Shikari's rumble here. You know, maybe I should get more into bird watching and it might help me finally be good at League. Might be something for you too. I mean, we need the help, Jake. Let's be honest here.
So we're resorting to Shikari's hobbies to maybe make us better.
Yeah, you know. Well, I mean, if you're playing this well, if you make it to Fnatic, like,
yeah, it's honestly, clearly birds.
It's a calming hobby. You know, you get into a good mindset.
I don't know, man. Like, my time is reserved at the moment, as far as animals go, are for hedgehogs and otters. Like, I am really into hedgehogs and otters at the moment.
I'm a bit of a basic bitch because I really like cats.
Yeah, cats are cool. but they're
Can't go
not.
wrong with them.
Like, otters are basically just aquatic cat snakes.
Yeah, no, I love otters as well.
What's there? Dodges away on the Infernal Chains, gets the taunt off it, and he's fine. He's out.
And for me, the question is, with the base still unbroken for M&M, can they find an opportunity where someone like Felix oversteps? Now with the Guardian Angel, that seems less likely than ever. But in a straight up front-to-back team fight, you have the tankiness of the Sejuani and the Shen that makes it really hard frontline to chew for, especially for someone like Yusa, who, and just in general, the lineup from M&M, we don't really have something that really gets through those tanks with how low damage the Olaf is, and Alessandra that doesn't really shred for half boss fast, combined with the consistent damage from the Rumble, combined with the burst from Felix. And then you have Xmati, because we haven't really talked about him, but he's been absolutely incredible thus far. 3-0-2 on the Civ, and that champion is also starting to reach a point where a single ricochet with a couple of crits can just ruin your day.
This might be those crits they're looking for already. 1/4 HP for Nolte. Open inhib in the mid lane as well, and you're seeing those ricochets just clear out these waves nice and quick. Infernal Chains instantly broken, and Fnatic not over eager to overstep here, but with that rapid fire cannon, the essence or even the infinity edge on Xmati, with double brawler's gloves, this guy is going to be critting hard. I can't remember what crit chance that gives him, but that's high.
A lot.
That's like 90%.
Yeah,
I
especially with thus far.
Opening, Ragnarok is still on cooldown. That's going to be the opening for the fight. Redemption heals Nolte up. The equalizer's a little bit wide, and only Angel jumps in. The final spot finds two. M&M have found themselves a 1-for-1 fight. As Prosphere is running away from everybody, but Fnatic are finding the kills, are finding the ace. Only Angel is the last one to stand, and Felix gets a triple kill. Fnatic rising will take the base, and with this, they should be able to take the game.
And it's a valiant effort from M&M. They really give it their all, as the coach is very satisfied with the outcome here. And Xmati, impeccable kiting there, staying alive for so long. A hero performance from M&M as they try and find a team fight. The final spark from Shogun there coming up huge, but in the end, the lead is simply too much, and we just see how Fnatic take the win here.
The kill score didn't show off how well M&M played, but Fnatic look absolutely dominating going into the Tower Challenge versus XL. 30 minutes on the clock and Fnatic take the win.
And that's really the best we can ask for. That's the kind of setting you want for the finals here, for the Tower Challenge, because Fnatic, we kind of play them as a team that's a little bit angry. Well, they are angry, and they are looking incredibly on form as we go and see them face off against XL. But I also want to talk a little bit about M&M. Yes, they did lose here, but it did feel like they're in the same league as Fnatic. And that in of itself, I think, is quite an achievement for this roster.
Yeah, I genuinely think this hard cements my top three as Fnatic, XL, and M&M. At the moment, I would say XL and Fnatic are definitely better than M&M, but I don't think that's something that is necessarily set in stone at that point, because I do feel that M&M, there were moments where they were looking very good. That last fight, actually, I genuinely thought might have been the flip for M&M, but they didn't respect the Rumble ult. They didn't respect Felix on the back line, who was just shredding through people. But I think Fnatic definitely looking more on form than last week. Maybe they were caught off guard by just the flexibility that XL have. And that's going to be my question going into the Tower Challenge is, do they have a way to deal with XL's drafting? Because at the moment, it looks like anyone can play anything, anywhere.
It's
crazy.
It's
actually terrifying to play into. So Fnatic have to find some kind of answer for that. Otherwise, this is going to be a really rough game for them. Again, I'm obviously, you can't let the Heimerdinger go through. You just don't want to yarn in on that. But like outside of that, like there is so much flexibility. We've had special bot lane. We've had Kiana mid lane. And like they are just all over the place. So coming into this game, I am very, very intrigued by this pick and ban phase.
I think pick and ban is going to be a big one to look out for. I also love that I feel like with Fnatic, especially today, they've just also shown that when you give them an edge early game, it's absolutely insane. But even if they don't, they can just find these consistent macro decisions. Now, that is something that really got them the edge here, combined with Felix just playing like an absolute lad, and Angie having an amazing game and really stepping up. And now the question for me is, you're playing against a roster with 3 LEC players. They're going to have so much experience. Can this roster from Fnatic, who is looking so good, but is kind of the up-and-comer compared to... Which is weird, because last season, Fnatic was the best team, but I think if you have Kasing, Special, and Yon in one team, you're always going to kind of switch those roles.
Yeah.
I want to see what's going to happen here. And like you're saying, the draft is a big part of that, but also the in-game. How are these macro calls going to end up? What are we going to see here from either team? Is it going to be early? Is it going to be mid-game? Don't expect either team to really go for late game, because I feel like with how proactive they both have been playing, you just can't afford to.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see this now. Like, I like, genuinely, this whole season is going to be really, really exciting for me. Just purely because I had like a kind of an idea of where everyone's going to be placing coming out of the end of the summer split. And I feel like people like Diabolus, I rated a lot lower than what is currently going on from them. I think M&M, like I said earlier, the top 3 are pretty much cemented, but I honestly think there's a little bit of wiggle room for M&M to maybe move higher. There's just a few issues that they need to shore up, but Nolty, he's had an incredible day. I had my questions about him coming into today. He's looked very good. I mean, same for NG. NG's been looking really, really good today as well. So fantastic game there for Fnatic Rising. And to be honest, M&M, they can walk away with their heads held high. But we still have one more game to go. It's going to be XL UK versus Fnatic Rising. We're finding out who is sitting at the top of the tower at the end of week 2. So don't go anywhere, because after the break, we'll have our grand finals.